IVM.
Peace of mind is of utmost importance in today's world. And you know what's a major cause of anxiety for so many people today? It's unpaid bills. Cred has made it all easier, and it even rewards you with some amazing cashbacks. This IPL season, download Cred and pay your bills during the power play, and you could get 100% cashback. Cred, the correct way to pay your bills. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Positively Unlimited podcast. This episode is the start of a whole new series of A to Z, and this time I'm touching upon the very, very touchy subject of work-life balance. Well, through the next 26 episodes, I hope to share many perspectives and life hacks that can allow you to bring all your beliefs about work, your career, into balance. For many of us, our definition of success is tied only and only to work. For many of us, our identity is tied only and only to work. Well, I'm hoping that through this journey of A to Z, we can change some of this and we can allow you to live a more wholesome life. We can possibly nudge you to evolve into a more wholesome being. So I'm going to get started with a very, very heavy word, a word that weighs us down in so many different ways. Today's word is A for ambition. Being ambitious is a good thing. Nothing wrong with it at all. In fact, every single person must have some ambition in their life. At a very base level, the meaning of the word ambition is to have the desire to achieve something. But the way that we interpret it is often the be-all and end-all of our identity, of our success, of our legacy. Let me also clarify this. People who wish to live a certain lifestyle but aren't really willing to do anything for it and nor are really doing anything for it, well, you aren't ambitious, nor do you have any ambition. You just have a desire. Ambitious people are usually those who not only have a target in mind, a certain point that they want to reach, a certain height that they want to scale, but they're also people who are extremely driven and ready to get up and move. They are more than willing to run for whatever it is that they want. Now, most of us have been taught to think of ambition only in terms of our career. Rarely does it feature in our personal life. And even when it does feature in our personal life, it's almost always about marriage. Into which family are you going to marry? Are you going to marry rich? Are you going to alleviate your status? Are you going to go from an X economic level to a Y stature just through marriage? Well, that's all about the personal space, right? But when it comes to our career, we have so many different ambitions. For some of us, it's about reaching a certain designation. For some of us, it's about a certain paycheck. For some of us, it is about building something and leaving behind a legacy. For some, it's fame and recognition. Now, like I said, there's nothing wrong in being ambitious. In fact, it's actually a good habit. Ambition can give you purpose. Ambition can give meaning to so many things that you do in your everyday life. However, for a lot of us, because ambition is tied only to our career, we end up running with blinders on. For so many of us, our ambition results in us making our work the center of our life. And when that happens, you will develop certain habits, certain behaviors, which will harm your personal life, which will harm your relationships. For example, somebody who is workaholic, someone who believes that They need to be working 18 hours a day to be fulfilling their ambition or to experience a sense of self. You know, those people who believe that if you take a day off, then your company is going to shut down. Or, oh my God, there'll be so much work left and everything will collapse. Well, those are people who have taken their work and their ambitions and placed them at the center of their life. And those are also the people who will almost always have many, many loved ones in their life, feeling left out, feeling unloved, feeling uncared for. Well, they don't leave much room for a personal life, do they? If you have to bring your ambitions into balance, you need to, one, look at the deadlines that you have placed upon yourself. It's one thing to want to become the CEO of, say, an MNC, or to become the president of some multi-billion-dollar empire. But it's a whole other thing to say that I want to become CEO by the age of 27 or 32, or by 42, I should be the president of a country. Now, those deadlines that you are placing, you need to ask yourself why, and where did you learn that it has to be done in such a time frame for it to have any value? It's almost as if we say that if I don't achieve this by this age, then my whole life will be a waste. Well, who taught you to even say that or think that? In that one tiny thought, you have negated everything else in your life. Every single thing. Your parents, your siblings, your friends, your childhood, all the memories that you built. You've labeled everything as waste. Why? Because your ambition is way more important, and your ambition is in fact the only thing that gives your life any meaning. And that is where the problem lies. If everything is going to be about your career and your ambition at work, then you are living a lopsided life. One of the big lessons of the lockdown that we all faced last year was that those who had only their careers felt completely lost, isolated, and lonely as the lockdown really set in upon us. Before I head off, here's a quick tool for you to practice this week in an attempt to bring your ambition and all your desires into balance. Answer this simple question and make sure you answer it in single sentences. What is my ambition for this lifetime? What do I want to achieve in this lifetime? And let yourself make a list if that's what it comes to, or then write one or two things that you have really tied to the word ambition. Think of ambition as a bucket and start pulling out all the desires that you put into that bucket and writing it down. The next thing you want to do is to look at what you have written down and to ask yourself, how much mind space, emotional space, how much time, how much effort do you invest in this ambition of yours? And is that a balanced way of living? You and only you must assess whether the way you are running after your ambition or the way you are living your ambition is balanced or not. And if it isn't, then you and only you can bring it into balance. Well, on this note, I'm going to head off. However, I want to remind you that the A to Z series that started at episode 99 was all about mindsets, perspectives, life skills, life hacks, tools and tips that can help you get through the lockdown. Yes, I recorded that last year during the lockdown. So if any of you are struggling with this recently announced lockdown, go back to those episodes on the IVM podcast app as well as website and listen to them, episode 99 onwards. And for those of you who have listened to this episode and are suddenly wondering, but what is my calling, or my job is my calling? Well, go back to episode number 153. It's called Calling. And that particular series of A to Z was all about finding your life purpose. I hope that all these episodes are helping you out, and I eagerly await responses from each and every one of you. So many of you DM me on Instagram, and I promise you, when I read those messages, you guys make me smile. You guys make me want to come back and record another episode. So thank you so much. If you'd like to DM me, my Instagram handle is PositivityAngel. And you can also connect with us on Instagram and Twitter. Our handle is IVM Podcasts.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week, Siet Tires and TheWholeTruthFoods.com. So, this week on Advertising is Dead, Varun was joined by Mansi Zaveri. She shares her experience of running a community for parents of young kids and teenagers and of hosting a podcast along the same lines. Gauri Devidayal was joined by Divya Thani on This Round is on Me. Divya works as a global editorial director with Condé Nast Traveler. They discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of a travel writer's job. On Candid Kanan, Sid is in conversation with Adarsh Gaurav, who recently scored a BAFTA nomination for his role in the Netflix adaptation of The White Tiger. They talk about his role in the show, life pre and post stardom, and so much more. On Agla Station Adulthood, Ritash and Aichi talk about the precious time and opportunities lost to the lockdown and share their post-COVID wish list. When it comes to cricket this season, we have you covered. In English, we have Edges and Sledges, which do their show live on YouTube. They look for announcements over there. And for our Hindi listeners, we have Khel Niti, hosted by Rajiv Mishra and ex-Indian cricketer Sabah Kareem. This show is live streamed on YouTube every day at 9:15. Definitely do check these out and hope to see you again next week.
From uncensored and unfiltered chats with the who's who of the entertainment industry, I, Siddharth Kannan, bring you a very heartcake chat show called Candid Kannan. Tune in every Friday on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts.